Today is the 28th of August, 2019, Math 1, variables on both sides. We'll start with the learning goal. What is the learning goal? Let's go with, it feels like it should be Chris.
One variable equations and inequalities to model and solve real life.
And is that?
Math has its own variables by solving equations and learning different math and how it works.
Excellent. Living as we do in a world filled with high-tech gadgets that depend upon modern physics, it is obvious that the lack of a solution to an equation has hardly held the physicists back, or the engineers who make modern physical theory and turn it into products. Without the precise understanding provided by equations, the world would not have silicon chips, iPhones, MRI machines, or other things we take for granted. But none of these applications required that those equations be solved in the strict mathematical sense. Recognize, solving equations is not necessary for the world around us. We've got computers and software that can get really close to approximations and things work. Although I want you to get the right answers on today's stuff, it's more about the process, the language, and understanding the rules of math, how it works. That's why we're doing this. I don't care as much that the answer is 2. What's the answer?
2.
I don't care. I want to see the process for it. All right? But thanks, Trent, for saying that, because I need someone to say it. So here we go. We have 20 minus 4x equals x. And before I do too crazy, I want you to come over here. Don't write anything down, but just, here's the number 8. I want to make it go away. Mathematically, how do I make it go away? This guy right here, this 8. I want to make it go away.
Where did you get the 8 from?
I just made it up.
How do you get rid of it?
I want to get rid of it.
You cross it out.
I can't.
Oh, take it out.
Boom, minus 8, right? That's how I get rid of an 8. If I have an 8, I take an 8 away. If I have a 3x, how can I get rid of that? How can I get rid of that?
Subtract 3x.
Minus 3x. If I have a negative 4, how can I get rid of that, Trent?
Plus 4.
Plus 4. If I have a negative 8x, how can I get rid of that, Gavin?
Plus 8 next.
Okay. Keep that in your head. So over here, here's the deal. I want to get rid of the 4. I want to get rid of this guy. So how can I get rid of a negative 4x? Hayden.
You add 4x.
I add 4x where? To both sides of the equation. So I'm going to go plus 4x plus 4x. The goal is to get all the variables on one side of the equation. So let's put that on our note. The goal that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get all the variables on one side. That's your goal. Write down the word goal. Goal, get all the variables on one side. So I'm taking this negative 4x, getting rid of it, and bringing it to the other side as a positive 4x. Something else. I want to avoid ending up with a 0 on either side. I could have taken this x and moved it over here, but then what would be left over here?
Nothing.
Nothing, which is okay mathematically, but for most of my students, it's going to mess with your brain. So avoid having a 0 on either side. Alright, so let's do this one. So negative 4x, the positive 4x undoes it. I need my red marker of death and destruction. Cool. Dun, dun, dun. Destroyer, destroyer. And I'm left with 20 equals 5x. And from there, you know how to solve this, so finish it off for me. You can show the division stuff. You just don't know your head. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't share the, at some point, I don't show the division. Good. Give me a break. You can go x equals 4. Nice. Cool. As we do the next one, work down. Don't work down, then jump over. Okay. Just work down. I know you put that in there, so you kind of ran out of space. Which is good. Write down x equals 4 for your final answer. Don't erase it. Just write it down underneath it. Wow. So also write down x equals 4. Don't erase. Just underneath it, write x equals 4. Good. Good. Your final answer should be x equals 4. Not 4 equals x. I realize that mathematically that's the same thing, but x equals 4. We like the variable first and then the answer. All right. Monkeys play with?
Monkey.
Apples play with?
What?
What?
What, apples can't play with apples?
No.
Apples aren't.
Just go with it. Okay,
They
here.
hang with apples.
Monkeys play with? Cats play with? Dogs play with?
Dog.
Okay. Apples combine with?
Monkeys.
Bananas?
Oh, sorry.
So you see what just happened? I just lost my whole flow here. So I'm trying to teach you guys stuff. So apples play with? Apples. So this idea that X's play with, Y's play with Y's. So right here, notice I have an X, and I have something, it's a constant term. It doesn't have a variable with it. These guys without variables, I call them air bubbles. Their technical term is a constant, but imagine an air bubble. It doesn't have anybody. It's kind of this thing. Like here, I could say, oh, these are X-rays. I have 4 X-rays. I could say I have 4 yaks if I'm dealing with Y's. I could say if I have 4A, I could call it 4 apples. If I have 4B, I could call it 4 bananas. If I have 4C, I could call it 4 cats. If I have 4V, I could call it 4 vests. So you see how every variable I can make up some kind of word for it. Here I have 10. 10 what? Air bubbles. Because they're just kind of, that's why I call them air bubbles. So air bubbles play with, violins play with, monkeys play with, armadillos play with. Okay. Can air bubbles play with X-rays? No. Be aware of that. That right here I had the X-rays play with X-rays. My X-rays didn't play with my air bubbles. X-rays play with X-rays. All right, another problem. What's this one? All right, so we're doing 4x plus 8 equals 2x minus 6. No, what are we doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing,
Did this one.
did we just do this one?
We talked.
We talked about it.
We talked about the air bubbles.
We talked about the air bubbles. Where am I? It's. Okay, got it. We're doing 4x plus 10. This is what we're doing. 4x plus 10 equals 2x minus 6. X bar. 2x minus 6. My goal is to get all the variables on one side. I have options. You want to move the 4x or you want to move the 2x? Why do you say the 2?
Because if you move it, there's still going to be something on the other side.
But if I move the 4, there's still going to be something on the other side. And there's no wrong answer here. Jackson.
I think I would move the 2 to the 4.
Why?
Because then it would, because then I could go from there and then subtract 10 from 6.
Absolutely. I'm trying to have you justify why you've got a decision to make. You're either going to move the 2 or the 4. Those are your options. But why one over the other? Why?
Because I'm more used to using positive numbers.
Would you rather go 4x minus 2x or 2x minus 4x? Well, I'm going to go with his because he made a logical argument. So what I'm going to do here then, Gordon, tell me what to do.
Subtract the 2x.
destruction. And I'm now left with 2x plus 10 equals negative 6. And at this point, you can solve this. I have an answer. Solve this, solve this, solve this. That's what I think that's negative. More negative. 8. I've got it as negative 8. As soon as I move that x, it just turned into a two-step equation, and that's what we did on Monday. I think Monday? Yep. This one, it's all you. You have choices. What are you going to do? Are you going to move the 3 or the 9? 3 or the 9. What are you going to do, Jordan? 3 or the 9? Okay, good job. Why the 3? It is. It's easy. Yes. What do you think, Gavin? You want to move the 3 or the 9? Why? It's smaller. Okay. Jordan says because it's easier to work with positives. Would you rather do 9 minus 3 or 3 minus 9? It'll work either way. It's your call. Look this room, man. I have to get the answers here. 6. 6. You know what hardcore is? We're all cheating. So I was watching the park movie. And there was this lady there. Is there like a gym?
Oh, I did gymnastics there.
It was so easy.
I did too.
She was like jumping off there. How are we doing? How about some negative ones? We've got some negative ones?
Yep.
Where's your negative one? Right there? Where's your negative one? Right there? Negative ones? So you want to leave, right here, leave it like this. A equals negative 1. A equals negative 1. Okay, questions on that one? Because I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it backwards. I'm going to do it the way you didn't do it. Ready? Oh, what? Mr. Barr, why are you doing that? Yeah? Watch this. I'm going to break another. I'm going to do something else. Avoiding a 0? No. I'm not scared of zeros. 0 equals negative 6a minus 6. I wouldn't do it this way. Don't do it this way. You guys did it a good way. Now I'm going to add. I'm going to add 6a to both sides. 6a equals negative 6. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 6, and I get a equals negative 1. All right. I'm telling you, you can do the rainbow poster in any order that you want, but there are better ways to do it. Try to avoid the 0 when you can. All right. I want your notes again because we're going to put a flow chart into it. So before you write down the next problem, we're going to do a flow map. I showed you, you can go in any order you want, but some orders are better than others. So here's the order we're going to use. Distribute. If you can distribute, distribute early. Simplify. Also called combining terms. If you have a couple of X's that can add together, add them together. If you have a couple of air bubbles that can add together, add them together. Then get stuff on one side. And then at that point, you're left with a two-step equation, and you're just going to solve it using basic rainbow poster. So get variables on one side, and then solve it. Take it the rest of the way. Let's go to whiteboards and markers at this point. And can you do this problem on a whiteboard and a marker? I realize we've done it all in our notebooks, but this is a reason to get up and Google.
I like going into my notebook.
You do?
Yeah.
That's cool. I actually prefer notebooks, but it's something different. You think, but that's part of it is you need a little marker. You have a little marker? A little marker is nice. They are. But it's good for you guys to use whiteboard. That's just an activity. What's up? There's only twins today. Let me see yours. It is. You go to Hollister?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's all I wear. I wear Target. Walmart. You know what's nuts? You can buy like a pair of jeans at Walmart for like $10. I'm amazed at how cheap stuff is sometimes.
Or it stays together.
You know they stay together, they just fit weird. Yeah, I do like Walmart. I think these are Gap. The Gap? The Gap and the Old Navy are connected somehow. They're all the same store, I think.
There's a gap in the Old Navy.
Is there a Gap? I don't know. All right, give this one a shot and then show me your boards. Show me the work. Show me what's going on with it. Let's see. Do I agree? Do I agree? I agree. You got shoes and work for that. That's right there. Okay. That's probably that. Next one on the whiteboard. Next one on the whiteboard. Oh, do you want to do one?
Wait.
You did your distribution. Now we probably want to move with these. So why don't we do -14, -14? Nice. Looks good. Something got. I've got it. You were there. Just be sure that you're wrong again. Did you want to go side by side right now? Or is it talking about it? You good? So. Good, good. Anybody still need to check it? Good, good. You need to check it? You get it? Or you on the next one? Next one? Anybody need me to check this one? -5. -5 with little waves. Follow the flow chart. Distribution, combining terms, moving x's, solving. Right here. Okay, gotcha. 10 minus 2. I see where you're getting from. The right here is going to be 5.
Yes. I think I did something wrong.
Good.
I forgot to get rid of.
Did you get crazy on you? It did. Okay, so what you it was the flow chart that kind of got you. So right here, you have 5t plus 10 minus 2. Before you start moving variables, simplify. The 10 minus 2 is an 8. So we'll have 5t plus 8 equals 6t minus 9. Simplify. You could have done it your way, but it gets confusing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, yes. No. Don't throw yours in there. It happens right during the distribution. 5 times 2 is 10 minus 2. Also, you didn't follow the flow chart. Distribution and simplify the terms. So right here, before you done it, you should have simplified that 2 minus 2. So yeah, right. And in the actual case, it's an 8. So it's actually 10 minus 2. So right here. Yeah. And right here, I add on both sides. Gavin, that looks good. Roger, that looks good. Gavin, good. Nico, good. Green, good. Trent Gordon, good. Eli, good. Jay, good. Yeah. Martha. Okay, that's fine. Before I would, before you do that kind of stuff, I would have to get the variables on the line. Usually do that, but you can quick this. What do you do now? So you can do that, but you're not going to put a 0 over here and have to add it. It's always trying to do it. Let's do it minus 6 would be minus 6 would be negative 1t. All right, anybody else need me to check this one? Did you get it? Negative 17, you lost it somewhere at the very end.
I think when I divided it,
Then I can't see it in the work.
I think I just added the numbers. Is that or something?
All right. And I'm going to do this. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Beg your pardon? Which one? This one?
Yeah, we did the last one.
Is there one after this?
No.
Is this the last one?
Yeah.
This is the-
No, let me talk about this one, then you can start.
Okay.
All right, because I'm going to do something crazy.
Well,
First, I'm going to do it the way that I think you should do it. So I'm going to do a distribution. I'm going to go 5t plus 10 minus 2 equals 6t minus 9. Good? I'm going to combine some terms, so I have 5t plus 8 equals 6t minus 9. Combining terms. I'm going to get all the variables on one side. I'm going to subtract 5t, 5t. 8 equals t minus 9, adding 9, t equals 17. But I'm telling you that if you want to do rainbow poster in crazy order, you can. So here we go. Rainbow poster, crazy order, pick something. Go for it.
like, it's like a,
Tell me, rainbow, just tell me an operation. You want to multiply both sides? You want to divide both sides? What do you want me to do?
multiply both.
Okay, I'll multiply both sides by what? Pick a number, I don't care.
Any number?
Sure. Keep it low though, so I don't have to.
One, right? No. 3.
Multiply everything by 3? Fine. 15. T plus 2 minus 6 equals 18. T minus 27.
Multiply the two.
I haven't distributed yet.
Okay.
And I did multiply this too. Hey, Barre. Yes, you may. Send them down. Okay, bye. All right. How about this? I'm going to divide everything by 15. Dividing everything by 15. T plus 2 minus 6/15 equals 18t 15 minus 27/15. Now, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to do, let's see, this is 2, which is 30/15 minus 6, so I have t plus 24/15 equals, this can simplify to what? 6/3? 6 halves?
Divided by 3. 6.
Yes.
Divide this by 6. No, divide this by 3. Divide this 6/5. 6/5 t. Divide this by 3, 9/5. Yeah? What's the answer? 17?
Yes.
I'm going to multiply everything by 5. 5t plus 24/3
What?
equals 6t minus 9. I'm going to subtract 5t from both sides, minus 5t minus 5t. So that gives me 24/3 equals t minus 9. I'm going to hit everything with a 3.
Oh my god.
24 equals 3t minus 27.
Says you would do 3 though.
I'm going to add 27 to both sides. Plus 27 plus 27. I'm at, what's that, 51?
I think so.
What?
Yeah, 51.
51 equals 3t. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. 51 divided by 3, do it.
17.
17. Did you plan that out? Or that
No.
just like-
So the point here is it's not about the answer. It's 17. The answer is correct, right?
Yeah.
It is learning the game of math. And it's learning that, hey, you know what? This is a much better way of playing the game than the way I just played it. I used my rainbow poster all the way through, but you know what? I probably should have just distributed, combined my like terms, moved the variable, and solved it. That's a mess.
Well, I mean, it was cool, but.
But I played by the rules of the math, and I was really happy it worked out at the end because there were a lot of places to mess it up. All right, you guys can start on the homework. 20 minutes or 100.